like when we talk about movies or TV shows from our childhood, we often talk about our favorite scenes, our favorite moments, and our favorite characters. But there's one thing that we do not talk about enough: the soundtracks. And no, I'm not talking about the beautifully written orchestral accompaniment often featured in the movie playing in the background. No, I'm talking about the highly marketed, cash-grabbing compilation albums that are usually featured with the release of the media. And what better way to start off this segment on my channel than to talk about the king of nostalgia soundtracks in my eyes, the Pokémon first movie soundtrack. I was kind of nervous about how obscure this topic might be. You don't really see people talk about it much to this day. It's not something that's been talked about on YouTube, and it's not even officially distributed anymore. In fact, if you want to buy or listen to the CD today, your best bet is to go to this one Amazon listing or on secondhand shops like eBay or Depop. And most of the songs on this CD aren't even available on streaming sites. Thanks to a few lovely people, you can still listen to it on YouTube on a few videos. But even then, some of the songs on this soundtrack are like super copyrighted for some reason. I'm looking at you, Christina Aguilera. But aside from how buried this soundtrack is today, it was a super success when it came out. So Pokémon the first movie was released in North America on Friday, November 12th, 1999. The soundtrack was released a few days earlier on Tuesday, November 9th, 1999. Oh my god, do you guys remember when albums used to release on Tuesdays? Anyway, it's a common marketing move to release the soundtrack a few days before the movie or whatever media is coming out, because essentially all of the Pokemon obsessed kids who went to see the movie on opening weekend got their parents to take them to the local FYE or like Sam Goody to get the soundtrack that was already fresh on the shelves. And then when the numbers came out on the week of November 27th, the soundtrack had debuted on the Billboard 200 chart at number 8. Not the soundtracks chart, not the kids albums chart, the whole entire thing. It was number 8. And it was smack dab right in between Britney Spears and Lou Bega, which might be the most 1999 sentence of all time. Now, Pokemon by this time was already a formidable franchise. You know, they were dubbing it like Pokemania and everything. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the soundtrack was also destined for success. In fact, the soundtrack for the TV show itself was released in June 1999, 5 months earlier. And while it was a success in its own right, it went gold after all, it only peaked at number 90 on the 200 chart. So what was the difference? What was it that took the movie soundtrack to the top? Aside from the fact that it was like highly publicized and highly promoted because it was a movie, I think it's gotta be this absolutely star-studded track list.
Attention all Pokemon fans.
This soundtrack is like the 90s dream team, you guys. This is like, they got Britney, they got Christina Aguilera, they got NSYNC, they got 98 Degrees, they got Aaron Carter, and they got like a glam rock version of the Pokemon theme song for some reason. It was honestly like a perfect storm because kids at that time that liked Pokemon also loved these artists. And if there were kids that didn't like one or the other, they could meet in the middle because there was honestly something for everybody on this soundtrack. And these songs were good. Okay, some of them were better than others, but that's the point of this video. Today, I'm going to take a look at these songs and rank them based on how good they are, how well they've aged, and if they had anything, absolutely anything at all to do with the Pokemon movie. A lot of these songs are songs I've loved since I was like 4 years old, and others I didn't really like until I got older. And others I'm like, oh wow, that's not good. But I do feel a lot of nostalgia for this set of songs, so I can't be 100% objective, but I'm gonna try my best. And honestly, I've had to listen to the soundtrack so many times for this video, so I am ready to be done and over with it. Let's go. Did you enjoy this informational part of this video? I wanted to kind of relax for this next part since I'm just ranking things on a tier list. A few things. There are a few themes that the soundtrack centers itself around. The biggest one being the power of friendship. It's honestly a lot. Like, lyrics are literally changed to be about friendship rather than anything else. And it's understandable, it makes it a bit more PG. So I'll be keeping a friendship counter. And another thing before I start, I misheard a lot of these lyrics when I was a toddler, and some of them I still don't understand to this day. Just don't really know what they're saying. So I gotta make note of misheard toddler lyrics. But anyway, let's go. Oh, I didn't even... I mentioned a bit earlier that this is like a glam rock version. I don't know if I can necessarily categorize it as glam rock, but it's just some really guitar driven version of the intro. It's so good. It's so epic, you guys. Like the guitar solo, the vocals, give me a break. Apparently this is a song that I would play over and over again on the speakers when I was little. I only vaguely remember this, but my family would be like, there are other songs on the CD. So I guess it was my favorite when I was really young. It's just an epic version of the theme song. These days when I watch the original version, like the TV size version, I tear up. Don't know what's happening there, but listen, it's going in S. We're putting it, where is it? Oh, here he is. This is by Billie Crawford. I should have said that. But Billie Crawford was a vocalist who did this intro. I watched an interview. He said that he did this in a very short amount of time and that it was a blur. And I can totally understand that. And it's going in S because he did such a good job. Very iconic song for a very iconic franchise. Ooh, you're my best friend. Don't say you love me. I like Don't Say You Love Me. I like it because it's easy listening and it's pretty tame. I kind of go back and forth on it lately. Always thought it was a good song. It's been one of my favorites, but I don't know. I also think it's kind of interesting how when this soundtrack released, this was like the lead single. Like they were promoting this song out of all the songs. I thought that was kind of weird. I think it was actually M2M's debut single. I might be wrong, but oh my God. I don't know what to put it on. I'm gonna put it in B for now, but it's a solid song. It's good. You know what though? It does have a key change. We love a key change. I'm putting in A. It's good. It's good. This is also one of those songs where the lyrics were changed. There are two different versions of the song. In the album version, aka the soundtrack version, they say, "You said you love me. What's that about?" In the, I guess the radio version, they say, "You started kissing me. What's that about?" So they did that to be more PG, but it's like the same thing. So we're saying A. Friendship counter go crazy on this one. We run forever like best friends should be. This one's pretty good too. I like the vocals. It also gets a +1 for being produced by Darkchild. However, it doesn't do it for me anymore. It's okay. So Ashley Ballard, Darkchild, Ashley Ballard, So Plush is going to be
Track 4 We're a Miracle by Christina Aguilera.
This one is super mega ultra copyrighted. I'm not even going to include clips of this one. So the reason why I decided to bring up the friendship counter in general is particularly because there's actually a demo version of this track written by Christina Aguilera and Dave Zippel. It's more so about love in the demo version, and that's the version that's on YouTube officially. It's more so about love between a significant other rather than sharing friendship with somebody, but the version that's on the soundtrack is all about the friendship. Yeah, they basically rewrote most of it to be about friendship. Because it's super duper copyrighted, it's hard to find it. There's only that official version on YouTube, or there's another video, this like fan-made video for some guy named Freddie Smith, and that's actually the soundtrack version, so you can hear all the friendship lines in that version, but you're gonna have to sit through a slideshow about some guy named Freddie Smith. It's a great ballad. It's a great Christina Aguilera song. It has some of her best vocals, and I just like it. It's a good one. It was a cut from her debut, I'm assuming, and I think that it served its purpose on this soundtrack in order to get the big names, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Pokemon the movie. However, I will say it was featured in the movie itself. It was in the end credits, if I remember correctly. And I'm putting Christina. Oh, this is harder than I thought. The thing is though, when I was younger, I didn't listen to it a lot because it was a ballad, and if the BPM wasn't at like 120, I wasn't listening. It's great, but I'm putting it in B for now. I might change that. Don't get mad at me. Here we go now. Soda Pop was already a weird song on Britney's debut album. Of all the songs on the soundtrack, I'd probably say that this one might have the least amount of relation to Pokemon itself. But listen, it didn't matter. They got a Britney song. They got a Britney song on the soundtrack, and that's all they needed. And it's such a fun song. Like, what's it even about? Soda Pop. And having fun. And that's all you really need. This isn't anything deep. This is about Soda Pop. It's super fun. Listen, this is one of those songs where I also didn't understand a word she was saying. Now I understand, but like, it's solid, it's fun, it's Pokemon, it's It's B. It's B for Britney. Now this is a super 90s ballad, if that makes sense. The 90st of 90s ballads. It's like a really spiritual song, and it's one of NSYNC's best, I have to say. This is actually one that you can find officially on streaming sites, by the way. So far, Spotify, Don't Say You Love Me, Britney. I think you can find It Was You as well. We're doing good so far. It gets worse. But yeah, you can find somewhere someday. It was on the Essential NSYNC. I actually loved going on YouTube and seeing the most replayed part of this song because it's also my favorite part of the song. When they say, somewhere, 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 and they're like, somewhere. And it's very epic and it's the best part of the song. I don't even think this song is featured in the movie at all, but listen, they got NSYNC on the soundtrack. What other body of work has a Christina song, a Britney song, and an NSYNC song all in a row? Nobody was doing that. Pokemon can do that. It's going... Where are you? Oh, this it's going in A. It's a fantastic song. Man, did I run into the Pokemon rap when I was doing some research on this. Everybody get happy. Get Happy is by Bewitched. This is one of those songs where the lyrics were lost on me. Like, the very first line, they say, don't be a brontosaurus? Brontosaurus. Like the dinosaur? But I don't think that's what they're saying. When you look at different lyrics, you'll see don't be around and soar us, which doesn't make any more sense. I don't know. Honestly, this song was a favorite when I was a kid. It's exciting. It's livening the energy. We just got past the ballad and now we're bringing the energy up. We're kids. It's like we're 7 years old. Let's bring it up. But this honestly just feels like an energetic song that they put between a ballad and a mid-tempo. As I've gotten older, it's not the best, but it serves its purpose in the soundtrack just to be a fun song. It's about getting happy. How can you be mad at that? But I'm putting it lower than the others. I'm putting it in C. Look, I appreciate it. I appreciate what it is. It just doesn't get me. It doesn't hit as hard as it used to. But it's okay. Now this song is by Emma Bunton from the Spice Girls, and it also, I found out, it features Mel C as background vocals. This one, I've always loved the guitar riff. I think it's really interesting production-wise and musically. It's one that I didn't really get the appeal of until I was a bit older. It's also kind of an odd song on the soundtrack. It doesn't really have anything to do, like, I have to think about it. It doesn't really have anything to do with Pokemon, but I mean, like, they got a big name and it's a fun song. It's featured in the credits with the rock and roll. Rock and roll. It's really cool. Gosh, I didn't even think of where to put this. C? No, oh gosh, wait, no. It's a B. It's B. It's solid. It's good. Wow. To have M2M above them just feels weird. But I like that song. Christina's going to A. I knew it. See, I said I was gonna change it. Like, it just doesn't feel right to have in the same... Okay, well, that's it. Not gonna dwell on that for much longer. So won't you fly with me? Listen, this is what every boy band song should be. First of all, you can find it officially. It was on their debut. Oh, actually, no. It was on their sophomore album. I was never like a 98 Degrees girl, like a fan. Like, I never, first of all, I wasn't old enough when they were out, and I was a child, and they didn't rise to mainstream in a huge way in the way that like NSYNC and Backstreet did, so I didn't really know them very well. But this song completely gives in to the fantasy of the boy band. The parasocial relationships jumped out with this one. Like, I can envision them leaning down at the audience with their mics and then looking in like eye contact with the front row. Come on now. This is what this song is for. This couldn't have gone to any other form of artist. It has to be a boy band song. I looked up this song for live performances and I found one version on YouTube. They are doing some like, I don't know, like 4th of July thing, like Labor Day. I don't know. I don't even think they're performing in front of an audience, and the vocals aren't live, but they are doing the choreography that I knew that they had to be doing. A 1-2 step and a shoulder. Back to the soundtrack. When I was re-listening to the soundtrack to do my first listen for this video, I got stuck on this song. I like how they break down the word broken into 3 syllables. Let me mend your broken wings. And they said, and I can make make you feel the world belongs to you. Like, oh my god, you can. I believe them. S tier. S. 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 It's S tier in my eyes. The Jigglypuff song. It's actually a really nice little R&B song. Little R&B pop. It's like once you get past the Jigglypuff sampling, it's actually like just a really nice little song. And it's on theme. This, oh my god, aside from the theme song, this has gotta be the most on theme song on the soundtrack so far, and we're 10 songs in. Do you think that this song was already in existence? Or do you think that they wrote this song for the movie and were like, this is the Jigglypuff song? If it already existed, then they had to have been like, oh, this is perfect. Put the Jigglypuff sample in there. I just love to know that. This is sung by Mandah. Yes. I'm giving an A. It's a good song, and it gets points for being on theme, and lyrically it's interesting. It's probably one of the most interesting lyrically thus far. Yeah, looking at the list, it's so yeah, it definitely fits where it is right now. And I sing my lullaby. It's really good. A.
Vacation need a little sun to break up.
This song had to have been #1 on the most replayed songs charts in my mom's car. This was a hit. Starts off very unassuming, and then it just explodes into this super fun song. With lyrics that could not be more true. I need a break, I need a vacation. Like, I can't even really put it lightly how much this song is like a timestamp in my childhood. The beach vibe mixed with everything else. It's like there's a DJ record scratching solo. It's like iconic. And this song was featured in the Pikachu's Vacation short, which played before the movie. So I'm considering it on theme. It's just a fun song, and they accomplished it with the lyrics because I do need a break, I do need a vacation. It's going an S, because there are just too many things good about it. Making my way any way that I can. Oh, this uplifting jam. This one, nothing's gonna stop me this time. I'm on my way. This one is actually penned by a songwriting legend, Diane Warren. It's no wonder lyrically why this one is probably the best one on the soundtrack. And this one's so Pokemon. Oh, it's so Ash Ketchum. It's his whole thing. If the river's too wide, he'll get through it. And he's gonna catch them all. Nothing's gonna stop him this time. But yeah, it's solid. This one's by Billie Piper, and I found this picture of her. I'm putting an A.
Oh, come on, try to catch me. Oh.
This song just might be on the same level of Pokemon isms as the Jigglypuff song and the movie song, the theme song actually, I'm sorry. I love songs like this that are so tied to the soundtrack that they just couldn't exist in any other way. It's all about Pokemon in this song. Like, it's just so tied to Pokemon that it can't possibly be applied to any other medium. This isn't the song that they wanted on the Billboard Hot 100. No, that wasn't the point. It's Pokemon only for this song. It has the catchiest hook you've ever heard in your life. They literally name drop Pokemon in this song. It's hilarious. Aside from that though, songs by Angela Villa, her vocals are amazing. It's like sonically, like, she's so good. It's actually quite excellent, and it's a favorite, has been a favorite, putting it an S. I know I chose this picture, it just seemed like the right picture for a song called Catch Me If You Can. We need to take a moment because we're about to enter the Aaron Carter dynasty of soundtrack songs. Like, it begins. This is where it starts. I love his soundtrack songs because I can't understand about 30% of what he's saying, but it bangs. It's always catchy as hell. And this one's not too much about Pokemon. I mean, it's fun, it fills the quota, and that's exactly what we need to sell a soundtrack that goes to #8 on the Billboard charts. And he sounds so little. And this one was also one of those songs that I couldn't understand all the words to. He says, let's take it from the street and move it to the beach. And he says, the sand beneath our feet. That's not what I heard. I heard Semenita P. I was like, wow. Whatever that means. Let's take it from the street and move it to the beach. It's okay. We learn and we understand words better and we can process words better. This song is going to be, it's gonna be B, but even then, it's like, this is one of his best soundtrack songs and it's B. That lets you know just how on top of his shit that he was with these soundtracks. They're super catchy.
Without you by my side.
If my tears could bring you back.
Now this is like the most 80s sounding 90s song ever. It seems as though they made the decision to kind of slow things down after the vacation to have some fun with the funk run. Oh god, I was sweating. These songs are so good. We had to bring it down a bit because they were up, 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 up. I don't know, I feel like this song is like for the adults, for the parents who bought this CD for their kids. It was played in the credits of the movie and it's emotional. It's very pretty in that context as well, seeing the scenery with the credits. As far as being on theme, considering tears are what brought Ash back to life from his stony corpse, I would say that this song is pretty on theme with the movie. I can understand why they sought out this song. They were on task with this one. As far as where it ranks though, the stony corpse, it's like, it wasn't my taste. You know, I do think it is pretty epic, especially when it gets to the climax of the song with the drums with like it really sounds like an 80s ballad here, but it wasn't personally one that I would listen to, and especially because it was a ballad, I would skip it a lot as a kid, and I to this day don't listen to it much, so sorry, I have to put it in C. Still a good song though. Last song.
Brother, my brother.
The album closer. It plays when the Pokemon are beating each other up, and it's I'm sorry, it's so funny. It's funny because it's corny and this song is like, brother, my brother. What are we fighting for? However, on a serious note, it's actually a good song. It has a good message too that is relevant, unfortunately, always going to be relevant to this day. And I actually love that they close the soundtrack out with this song. I can't imagine how else they would have done it. And not only that, but it ends on a fade out. You can't get more 90s than that. It's a perfect 90s closeout to the most 90s conglomerate of songs ever. Perfection. What are we putting it at? Solid. B. Yep, with the Pikachus fighting each other. What are we fighting for, brother? That is the complete tier list for the Pokemon first movie soundtrack, in my opinion. I hope this was fun and like a trip down memory lane. If this is your first time ever hearing about this soundtrack, then I implore you to go listen to it. It's quite the experience, and I wonder how it sounds to someone who doesn't have like nostalgia ears attached to it. If you enjoy this, be sure to thumbs up, give a like, maybe subscribe. I have more soundtrack content coming. I'm really excited about it, and other ideas that I have. But for now, I will see you guys soon. Bye.